Hello and welcome to Method CRM User Tutorials. We are doing a series on Report Designer, and in this video we will take a look at summaries. Summaries are used if you want to get the total or a sum or an average or whatever of any list you may have in your report. Here, let me show you. I have one of the very first reports that I created in this video series, and it lists out the contacts. Now let's say I want the report to tell me how many contacts are in my report. Let's put that in the title bar. I'll just expand the page header band, and to get a total or a summary, I will need to drag in a label. Let me just style this label very quickly. Okay, click the arrow so that you can open up its tasks. And now let's fill in data binding. You need to specify which field you want the summary to count. In our case, we want to count the names of the contact. So let's expand the contacts table and find the name. Cool. Next, we will click the ellipsis button beside the summary. And here is the summary editor. And that's where all the magic happens. The first box you see says bound field, and the contact's name field is already there. You could have selected the contact's name field here as opposed to data binding, but there was a small reason I didn't, and I'll tell you that later. Next up, it wants the summary function. It defaults to sum, but we want the count, so I'll select count. And for the format string, that's how it will be displayed. I will click the ellipsis button and it defaults to general, and I will type in total number of contacts equals in the prefix. Okay, now for an anomaly. Remember we put the name field in data binding over here? What if we skip that and actually did it in bound field first? You know what happens? This general category does not appear. And that's annoying if you wanted it. So that's why I put it in data binding first. Weird, eh? Okay, hit OK. And then finally, and this is important, it asks us the scope of the summary. Do we want a count of the group? Do we want a count for each page? Or do we want the count of the whole report? I want the count of the whole report, all my contacts. So I'll choose that. And then hit OK. Awesome, let me hit the preview button. Ta-da, nice! My report now tells me how many contacts I have. It's only 100 because preview only loads in 100 contacts, but the real report will have all my contacts. And that's summaries in a nutshell. Super easy. However, let me do a second example and it's a bit more complicated. Here we are. Remember detail reports, which lists the invoices of each customer if they have them? I never totaled the amount, so this is not really useful to anybody unless you're Rain Man. So let's go and do that. In the designer, I will add a group footer band to this detail report. Ha! I bet you didn't know we could do that. Or maybe you did, considering we made a group header. Clever girl. Anyway, in the detail report section, I will right-click and choose group footer. I will drag in a line because I like lines, and I'm going to change its foreground color. Next, I will drag in a label, and this I will use just to type in total amount. Let me style that to right align. Then I'll drag another label in, and I'll style that too. I'll make it green and bolded and middle aligned. Okay, this is the label I'm going to show the summary. So I will click the arrow to bring up its tasks, hit the summary ellipsis button to bring up the summary editor. The bound field here will be under invoice customer, and we will choose amount. And if you don't know why, you really should watch the video we have on detail reports. Anyway, the summary function is defaulted to sum, so we will keep that. Format string I will change to currency. Note, did you notice something? I selected the field in bound field as opposed to over here in data binding. So look what's missing in format string, the general category. So if you ever wonder where the general category is, remember, you need to fill in data binding first. And finally, we want the summary to be of just this group. We don't want a total of everything on the page or anything like that. So that's why I chose group. Cool? Cool. Okay, let's click OK. And now I'm going to preview this. And look, haha, how awesome is this? It shows us the total. And that's it. That's how you do summaries. Now you aren't just stuck with sum and counts. No, if you open up the summary editor, look at all the functions you can use. You spreadsheet types will have a field day with this. In the next video, we will chat about conditional formatting. Huzzah! I bring you nothing but fun times. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the YouTube comments, check out the documentation post on our forums, or you can tweet us at Method CRM. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye!